Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farber. The NATO Military Committee meeting in Brussels on Tuesday involving Polish Chief of the General Staff and U.S. Army Europe and NATO Commander General Grinkiewicz is taking place amid growing scrutiny of U.S. troop posture in Europe, with reports of a suspended rotation of over 4,000 American troops to Poland. At the same time, Polish deputy defense ministers are in Washington for meetings at the Pentagon, delivering Poland's message that it is prepared to expand the U.S. military presence. Now, to analyze it all, we're joined by Marcin Bużański, Director, Center for Diplomacy and Negotiation, Collegium Civitas. Good to have you back with us. Let's jump.
Pleasure to be with you.
Good to have you. So let's jump right into it. Over to the Atlantic on the other side, the Pentagon, these deputy defense chiefs have a message for the Pentagon. Do you think they'll be successful with that mission?
Well, first of all, it's extremely important that they go and try to communicate and figure out exactly what was the decision-making chain behind the decision to stop the rotational deployment, and also find out exactly how it's going to be impacting U.S. presence in Poland for the longer term. Figure out, is it only a logistical issue, as had been highlighted by a number of representatives of the U.S. government, or part of a bigger U.S. withdrawal from Europe. This is all not clear. This hasn't been communicated previously, so rightly so, it's raising a lot of concerns in Warsaw. Hence, the immediate deployment of two deputy ministers of defense. There'll be meetings with the National Security Advisor. There'll be meetings in the Pentagon with Eldridge Colby, who's been known as to be the architect of troop removals from Europe. So obviously there's a lot of military diplomacy happening. I doubt that it will impact the immediate decision on the deployment. I don't think that's something expected in the next day or two. But I think what's critical is to have clarity as to the reasoning, clarity as to the next steps, whether it's in weeks or months when it comes to U.S. rotations in Europe and troop movement inside Europe, and here I'm thinking about Germany, or more broadly from Europe, considering U.S. engagements in other theaters. So there's clearly been, if not anything else, a big issue in communication, and there's clarity clearly needed from the U.S. in this regard.
Mm-hmm. And at the same time, when you said diplomatic terms are on full swing in terms of military diplomacy. Also, let's go to Brussels for a moment. Also, military chiefs of the alliance there on Tuesday, but also high-level meetings supposed to take place. The General Staff, Kukua, I believe, is also going to be there meeting the NATO SACEUR. So again, damage control, more clarity after these meetings. What do you think?
Well, hopefully both. General Kukua, of course, on the sidelines will have conversations with General Grinkiewicz. He has been part of the decision-making chain, for sure, to a degree, although we don't know the exact details. But I think what's critical here, and this is what I expect General Grinkiewicz to underline, that this deployment, this rotational deployment, does not impact in any way NATO's strategic deterrence presence on the eastern flank, NATO's planning, and even in any potential future moves, whether it's a smaller amount of U.S. troops present, that it would be then, let's say, upgraded by more troops coming, for instance, from France and from Germany, so that the capacities and capabilities of NATO forces is not diminished when it comes to securing the eastern flank. I think this will be a strong message coming out. Now, that said, there's obviously some tension right now. There's clearly concern, and also this will be something that General Grinkiewicz will try to address with his meetings at General Kukua, and more broadly with allies from the eastern flank, because obviously this also concerns the Baltic states. This also concerns Romania. Generally, our deterrence and defense capabilities in a time where there's an ongoing war and Russian aggression, plus there's increased hybrid war happening across the eastern flank and more generally onto NATO.
Yeah, and also speaking to TVP, I believe it was on Monday evening, was retired General Ben Hodges, and he called this whole situation really chaotic in terms of also strategic communication. When you have former senior staff like this say something like this, do you think that carries any weight? Do you think this will be a kind of, I know we're speculating, but do you think that kind of, let's say, will that have force to have the administration maybe change their mind in all this?
Look, and I extremely appreciate General Hodges' words. Ben's a good colleague. He underlined many times as a former sucker that it is generally a mistake to make a move out of Europe at a time when Russia is attacking. Now, I think these words carry weight. I think they carry weight, especially when it comes to part of the Republican establishment in the House, in the Senate, in the Congress. It carries certainly weight across the Pentagon, and whereas there's been quite a lot of opposition to the political decision-making of the Trump administration. Whether it will change those decisions, I doubt that. We have more diplomacy happening apart from the Grinkiewicz-Kukua meeting. Also on Wednesday, the Joint Chief of Staff is expected in Warsaw for meetings with Defense Minister Kosiniak-Kamysz. So I expect there will be more calming down of tension and clarifying this decision, because frankly speaking, Poland has been a very strong ally. The term used by the Americans has been a model ally. Now, let's be clear, this has come at a cost on many levels. At many times, Poland had to swallow quite humiliating situations. At many times, we had to react much more gently to extremely harsh US politics when it comes to Europe. I mean, from Greenland to the language used during the war in the Middle East, to indications that European Union is an enemy, not an ally. So all of this Poland has swallowed, has stood by the US in many of difficult discussions, because it is rightly so hedging that come what may, it's a critical defense element, a critical pillar of Polish defense, the relation with the United States, obviously. So while we're building our own military and defense capabilities rapidly, including with European allies, and internally posing the question that at some time U.S. defense might not be coming forth as expected. At the same time, we have to be hedging very strongly on this relationship. So this clearly puts Poland in a difficult position, and we expect the United States to come forward with clear communication that this defense support will be sustained, will be continuing, and that we can avoid this sort of situations coming out of the blue in the future. But that said, we all know how the Trump administration functions. We all know the communication chaos that is coming out of the White House, out of the Pentagon. So I'm afraid we can expect more of these situations to happen.
Yeah, we're really short on time, but I just want to get a quick one, just a brief sentence. Tangible, though, rotation could be temporary. We don't know yet, but that Demblin facility, the service facility, I think opened yesterday on Monday, attended by the defense minister, one of the only facilities, I think, for the Abrams tank engines out of the United States. So please tell us a bit more. I mean, does that kind of commitment give us a better sign for the future?
Well, look, to be honest, this is positive. It's good that there's also that they're building, the tanks are going to be built and serviced in Poland. This is another example of how a good Poland ally is when it comes to buying defense equipment. I mean, we've been buying from the U.S., to use the term, almost like crazy, and on very, very high prices. Now, Poland is expecting, because also of its role as a big defense spender and buyer of U.S. equipment, to also be treated in a certain way. So even more, there's arguments after this ceremony in Demblin to come back to the U.S. For diplomacy, to put cards on the table and really say, I mean, come on, guys, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. All right, so your words there, interesting. A lot of shuttle diplomacy there. We'll see what we get out of it in the next few days and weeks to come. Thanks so much, Marcin Bużański. That was a pleasure from Collegium Civitas. Thank you.
Pleasure to be with you. Thanks.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.